Freedom from a Life of Hell. By Vernon Howard. A pretty oasis huddled in the middle of a hot and dry desert. Its people lived happily under the wise guidance of their leader, known as the keeper of the oasis. Cool water flowed from many wells and food grew in abundance. One day a newcomer to the peaceful community gazed outward toward the bare sands. He observed dozens of weary travelers who saw the oasis but deliberately passed it by. The puzzled newcomer sought out the keeper of the oasis. "What is wrong with those people out there?" asked the newcomer. "Why don't they stop for water and rest?" Replied the keeper, "You may find this hard to believe, but they are strangely in love with their heat and weariness. They want nothing to do with our refreshing oasis. In their suspicion and hostility they actually think we want to hurt them. It happens every day. But why don't you just explain everything to them? They are so obsessed with hating their chosen desert they have no interest in explanations." The newcomer sighed, "Their foolishness is beyond belief." Said the keeper, "Let me tell you something equally horrible. They have sand in their bottles which they call water. So they must continue to suffer from themselves? Once in a while," said the keeper, "one of them turns this way to find rest. But only once in a while. The tired travelers are the people of this world. The oasis dwellers are the seekers of true happiness. The keeper of the oasis is pure truth." References to your inner oasis appear several times in the 100 guides. An oasis in the desert is a superb symbol of refreshment and safety. It is a kingdom where all spiritual promises of wisdom and strength are fulfilled. You can enter your heavenly inner oasis any time you want it more than you want the dreary desert of this foolish world. Your inner oasis is the only right place for you to be. The childishness of the average adult is so unsuspected you would collapse in horror if you saw it all at once. Say something flattering to a man and he likes you. Say something critical and he hates you. That is all there is to him, but in his lunacy he calls himself intelligent and self-controlled. His delusion is his madness. When his inner hell breaks out into the open you have monstrous war and crime. You will next read about one of the most incredibly shocking and destructive delusions in all of human society. The delusion is that men and women want to escape the hell in their lives. All around you hear people plead and scream for relief from their mental pain. Forget it. They don't mean it. Not in the slightest. They love their hells, in fact, their agonies are their most precious possessions. The positive proof of their sick love for suffering is that they keep it. You see, truth is faithful. Truth will rescue anyone who sincerely seeks deliverance, but few do. Distress gives them a weird excitement they think they can't live without. Hell is not a geographical location but an internal condition. A negative nature is hell, including evil intentions and self-obsessions. Whoever chooses any kind of harmful behavior burns away his life. Hell is also an unnecessary human torment. It burns itself out when the sufferer ceases to add the fiery fuel stockpiled by his own egotism. Since hell is the presence of the conceited false self, heaven is its absence. Heaven is the absence of self-deceit, self-greed, self-glory. So you must give up your known ways in order to win a new life beyond the stars. Just see what your usual ways have done against you and you will eagerly start your upward flight. Looking for heaven in some future time and place is absolute hell. This is because you have wrongly employed time and space to separate your spirit from the heaven of the present pure moment. Agony consists of sensing this separation while refusing to return home where you belong. See the difference between the mental and spiritual levels. The mental level consists of thoughts, attitudes, memory, imagination. When rightly used, the mental level guides your performances in work or play and other everyday matters. A distorted mental level builds egotism which make life hell on earth. The higher spiritual level does not employ thought or imagination but sees and acts from pure wisdom. The mental level thinks but the spiritual level knows. The spiritual level accurately guides the mental level when the individual wisely permits it. Most people stop their inner development on the mental level, believing it to be the spiritual level. Ordinary religious people suffer emotional hell because they don't see that hell operates on the mental level but heaven does not. They fail to see the painful contradiction of calling themselves saved while still living in frantic fear and hidden hostility. To be saved means to be saved from yourself, including rescue from self-deception, self-betrayal, and self-injury. The wisdom you are now absorbing will elevate you from the mental level to the spiritual level. Switching from one to the other is an experience as definite as flipping a switch to make a dark room light. When you something right will happen. Turn on the light. Beneficial answers. Question: why are male-female relations so awful? A man who secretly owned a junk shop met a woman who also secretly owned a junk shop. With dreamy eyes they lovingly promised to exchange precious gifts. Question: what is the right attitude toward suffering? Suffering is secretly glorified when it should be seen as an idiotic waste of life. That attitude cures suffering. Question: why do I remain so nervous? Because you trust your egotism to show you the way through life. That is like asking a robber to guide you and your money to a bank. Question: what if I am too weak and ignorant for the inner adventure? When you do what is right you can forget being brave or wise because rightness includes both of these. Question: what is my problem? Your cunning insistence upon having a problem. You think it makes you an interesting person to yourself and others. A refusal to face this guarantees all the tears you want. Question: why am I so insecure in spite of a lot of authority I have over others? The more you have outer authority, the more you are under inner tyranny. You fear you won't know who you are when your authority finally ends. Question: what causes the hell of hatred? You hate because you are afraid and you are afraid because you are wrong. Hatred indicates personal delusion. Rightness is fearless. Question: why should I seek higher truths? Because being at peace with yourself is better than being at war with yourself. One day you will know the delight of working for yourself instead of working for nothing. Question: how can I correct the annoyed feeling that I am always caught out in snarling traffic? By seeing that the screeching and colliding is in your own mind and nowhere else. This leads to open highway and free feelings. Question: what is the answer to our aimless wandering through life? A small child who loses his parents in a crown breaks out crying, which brings help. Lying humans pretend they are not lost, which prevents self-finding. Question: why does my stupidity persist? Because you let your stupidity make you sick instead of curious. Spiritual curiosity toward human stupidity ends it. Question: what is wrong with me? Touchy feelings. You use them as a wall to keep out the snapping wolves in daily life, but the wolves are already on the inside. Your wall of touchiness keeps out the wolf chaser. Question: how do I cooperate with my pain to keep it going? By pretending that you had nothing to do with its cause. That is like a wounded soldier insisting he had not fought a battle. Question: what is hell and heaven? Hell consists of living from an imaginary identity that you think is real. Heaven consists of living from your real nature which you can reveal. Question: how do I win protection in a menacing society? Drop your conceit and see how badly you need protection from yourself. See the danger in self-ignorance. Question: what is loneliness? A pointless performance with you as the great star of your mental dramatics. Stop applauding loneliness. As loneliness sees itself without an audience, it leaves the theater of your mind forever. Question: what obvious hell do we fail to notice? One kind of hell is when you are required to act but don't know how. When your mind gives you 10 different solutions in 1 hour, it is time to get a new mind. Question: why do I tell myself flattering lies? Self-deceit is the very heat of hell, but it is easy to start to abolish self-deception. Never mind how wise and loving you think you are, just notice whether you can stand living with yourself. Question: what is wrong with just living my life as I think best? You do. How do you like it? Question: how do we end our conflict? Life is like a pioneer western town terrorized by a bandit when the sheriff is absent. Your part is to get the spiritual sheriff. His return guarantees the end of your terror. Healing exercises. Listed below are 15 special exercises. They are among the 100 guides in the following pages. Use an exercise for a week, then select another. Make its message clear in your mind, then practice with its power at home, work, with friends, or alone. Your wants. You need never again pretend that your life is not hell. Feel better already? Good. A man thinks he wants the next triumph over his rivals or the next sexual conquest. He wants these because he wrongly thinks they will satisfy his inner want machine that drives him crazy with its greedy demands. Want what your true spirit wants, not what your jittery mind wants. You will see through hell. Hell understood is heaven. Be true. A motorist became lost while driving a mountain road. He stopped for help at a large cabin, only to realize he had stumbled into a hangout for criminals. He drove away fast. Remember this story the next time you seek help in finding yourself. Human society is itself lost, therefore it cannot explain anything to you. Don't let it try, for it will try to deceive you. Truthless is ruthless. When you can't find a true person, just be one. That is what these teachings are all about. Seek higher. Hell has 1,000 tricks to keep its occupants down. One of its favorite lies is to say that your good or bad feelings depend upon another person's mood toward you. Another lie is to state that conditions cause depression. In truth, everything depends upon the kind of person you are, whether dull or alert, hiding or seeking. Your own nature causes your own feelings. To feel good always, seek your higher nature. Your rescue. Imagine a thirsty man wandering in the desert. He is observed by another man on a hilltop who sees something unseen by the wanderer. The observer sees a stream of pure water just over the hill from the wanderer. So the observer shouts and waves to make the wanderer turn in the right direction. Truth also sees something it wants you to see. Never take a personal hell as final, such as an involvement with a cruel person. It is no more final than this page. No doubt. Self-doubt is whirling hell. One moment you think you know who you are and the next moment you worry over yourself. It is your mental self that worries, for your identity changes with every changing thought. Your spiritual self has no doubts because it dwells in changeless reality. Without thinking, you know who you are. Hell for an evil man who tries to make you doubt yourself is that he can't make you doubt yourself. Great day. The next sentence may contain the richest information you have ever heard in your entire life. For true happiness, life does not need to conform to your demands. Notice that an inspired part of you likes this idea, while your usual mind rejects it. Place yourself on the side that likes it, for it is true. The needless demands of the false self will fall away, and you will understand. That great day will be like suddenly stepping into view of an immense valley of majestic beauty. Secret life. Try to float on a slab of cement. You will sink. Try to float on a rubber raft. You will float. You sink with lies but float on facts. Besides, facts feel good, while fantasies feel awful. So welcome these facts. You have a secret life that belongs to you alone. This spiritual center won't let harm approach. For example, it won't let a trickster exploit your fears for his own benefit. Its secret power is your secret power. Just stay close. Do this. Maybe you cry out, but what should I do? Easy answer. Remind yourself every day of what you already know about yourself. Know that you don't know what to do with yourself. Know that you fear you won't make it. Know that you feel terrible about yourself. Do this but do nothing more. Do not act upon what you know. This exercise gradually detaches the false action of the vanity self which always pretends it knows what to do. Now, all you do is done for you. Find love. There is no love outside inner oasis. What people call love is simply self-interest that has learned to say the right things in public. Love and truth are the same. It is not a cruel world or financial failure or emotional pressure that hurts, not at all. It is lack of love. Love is heaven. Lack of love is hell. Love blossoms in the absence of the false self. How is love found? When your mind no longer tells you what love is, your spirit knows. The mayor. Some city officials complained to their mayor that they needed more workers and more money for their departments. The mayor told them, "If you can't do your work with what you already have, I will find someone who can." The matter is settled. You live in a complaining and demanding world. Let this story remind you to quietly and firmly deny demands upon you. There is no peace of mind in yielding to demanders. There is peace and power only in doing what is right. Hurt people. Hurt people can lure you into a hot place until you learn to cool it down. Listen to their tearful dramatics, "I'll be hurt unless you help me." Or maybe it's praise me, phone me, respect me. Quite often this invisible blackmail adds, "I'll be hurt, and it's all your fault." It is not your fault. The hurt person is responsible for his hurt. Notice the hostility and the threats in hurt people. Don't be around when their hell breaks loose. Stay home. Do you know why people are weak and scared? Because they live their lives inside their own mental amusement park. Some prefer the ride to romance land. Others like to visit the horror show. Still others choose the world of fantasies. Always visiting a faraway place, they are never home to themselves. Build strength by staying home to build your own resources. For example, don't let scheming friends drop hints into your mind. A hint is the first spark of a new hell. See through. A famous philosopher was noted for his ability to see through fakers. Very often rich and famous people boastingly told him how happy and secure they were. Seeing into their secret hells, he quietly asked, "When are you going to break down and cry?" Those who could take such penetrating wisdom found themselves on the path to true security. Anyone else can have the same opportunity. You need only refuse the self-harm in self-deception. Clear mind. When feeling uncomfortable in a situation, tell yourself, "I need not think these thoughts." That self-reminder is like a flash of lightning at night that reveals the road home. Maybe someone offers you a small bribe in exchange for something you are reluctant to give. While confused and undecided, remind yourself, "I need not think these thoughts." Your cleared mind supplies new thoughts that easily refuse the bribe and prevent the problem. Avoid him. There is a large group of people who are no-betters. No matter what comes up, they know better. No-betting is a mixture of conceit, imagination and stupidity. Wherever a no-better goes, he lights the fires of hell, which he calls sunshine. He deceives many. His hell consists of retarded growth, like a tree that stopped growing at 1 foot tall. Learn to recognize a no-better. Since he does not know better, avoid him. Rise above. The earth is not powered by wisdom or sincerity, but by influence. Every desperate man seeks to influence every other desperate man. This is why there is hell on earth. Society is incredibly evil and sneaky, promising love and safety while delivering hatred and danger. Lost people on life rafts yell out persuasive lies to each other, each claiming to have a compass. Only ignorance can be influenced. Where there is true intelligence, there is no influence. Rise above influence. Solve problems. Like to tell friends about your problems? Forget it. No good. A waste of energy. They are not interested. They are not listening. Worried over their own wretched lives, they only pretend to have concern for you. They come alive only when you relate an amusing escapade or drop in a bit of sex gossip. Stop this useless way. Journey to the inner oasis. They will welcome you. Tell your whole story. Their understanding solves your problem. Lift yourself. Ever feel you can't take it anymore? Like to lift the feeling? Just ask yourself who it is who can't take it anymore. You can search for centuries and not find anyone who can't take it anymore. You will find hundreds of worried thoughts and frantic feelings, but you are not these thoughts and feelings. Your true self is spiritual, not mental and emotional. If you can't take it anymore, let all this reveal why you need not take it anymore. Then you won't. Go right. Imagine yourself coming to a fork in the road. You don't know which trail to take, so with binoculars you see stormy scenes on the left and pleasant weather on the right. You go right. The lesson is, use spiritual binoculars to take a close look at human life on earth. Your close examination enables you to not choose stormy scenes, as most people do. Be truly different. Place yourself on the side that is on your side. True success. You need not amount to anything in society. There. The whole world has fallen off your back. Frantic ambition aroused by the fear of being nobody is just what plunges society into its hell of hatred and heartache. You need not see yourself as successful, nor do you need admirers. You need only the true success of inner wholeness. That is all you need. Your work and play will be enjoyable. You will contribute sanity and decency to a desperate world. Be right. Here are the 3 most stupid things any human being can ever do: insist he is right when he is wrong. B. Pretend he is not insisting he is right when he is wrong. C. Refuse to listen when told he is pretending he is right when he is wrong. It is easy to see wrongness. Its victim is nervous, hostile, and releases a flood of idiotic lies. It is better to be right than wrong because wrongness is hell and rightness is heaven. The difference. A wise man is one who knows what gives him something and what gives him nothing. Develop this wisdom by reading these statements many times. Asking how I fell into trouble gives me something but self-pity gives me nothing. Quietly changing my own nature gives me something but trying to be noticed gives me nothing. You will see that there is a difference in what you do with yourself. It is the difference between heaven and hell. Stop shock. A nagging emotion is a portable hell. A fiery feeling attacks over sex or money or over being cheated or rejected. The negative is negative. Correct it. When a fearful idea arises, notice it, then understand that it need not advance to your emotions to cause a panicky explosion. Your understanding of this fact is the very wall that prevents idea and emotion from making violent contact. Build this powerful wall. Keep idea and emotion separate. Find gold. A man appeared at a mining school to say he wanted to learn to find gold in the mountains. When the instructor offered basic facts, the man started to argue. The instructor quietly left the room. The man never found gold. The lesson is, truth will not argue with anyone. You either want spiritual gold or you want more nightmares. Anyone who loves argument more than he loves instruction must see how his hostility has tricked him. Want gold? See the hell in hostility. Fear nothing. There is nothing to fear. Fear remains as a private hell only because the man or woman has not yet seen something. You must see that there is really no one within you to feel fear, no one real. Only the false self trembles. Stop loving your fears. Yes, you love your anxieties because you wrongly believe that their painful vibrations give you life. They don't. They give you hell. Be real. You will never again fear anything. Great change. In your present condition you do not want your mind to yourself because you don't know what to do with it. It is like owning your own private lake but not knowing how to swim. You are delighted with distractions that take you away from your own mind, such as surprises and shocks. A person's degree of hell is equal to the distance he dwells from his own mind. But inner construction creates an inner oasis in which you think your thoughts, live your life. New energy. Turn harmful emotions into energies for self-healing. Write a list of 10 self-punishing emotions such as gloom and a complaining spirit. On the other side of the page, make a list of 10 pleasant conditions including alertness and enjoyable hours. Inform yourself, by sacrificing gloom I habits. Energy for an alert mind. Or, by giving up complaints I have new power for happy hours. Practice this exercise in which you win by losing. Happy halt. You need not do anything to find peace of mind. You need only stop doing those things that prevent it. There is both the problem and the oddity. People do things to become happy, which are the very things that slam back into them with anguish. Make a list of activities that you suspect are boring lies. You might think your security depends upon pleasing unpleasant friends. Maybe you believe you must make decisions for lazy people. Stop. It stops pain. The weasel. A woodland weasel used to sit on a hill and watch other animals pass by. After observing certain animals, he attacked them with success. When asked how he selected his victims, he replied, "I watch the way they walk and attack those with no place to go." Realize that aimlessness in life attracts attacks from human weasels. Decide right now to become wiser than the weasels of this world. Now you have a right place to go. Hidden hells. Beware of hidden hells in haunted humans. A person can give you only what he actually has, not what you believe he has. Don't discover this too late. What you believe is calm strength in that man is really frozen neurosis. What you think is attractive enthusiasm in that woman is really bubbling hysteria. Why lower your bucket into empty wells? Are you completely disillusioned with human nature as yet? Yes? Good. God can get through to you at last. New world. Maybe you have though like this. How come everything I do is wrong but whatever he does is right? How come he can lie about me but gets hateful when I tell the truth about him? How come I always owe him something but all he owes me is criticism? Stop living in this stormy weather. Don't fight it, leave it. A new world is just beyond. Truth is a skilled magician who turns your storm skies into a rainbow. Go upward. When you do something wrong, you must always use it to build rightness, which is the same as happiness. Never permit a mistake to push you downward into pain and self-hate. Instead, allow the error to carry you upward to where you can see why it happened. Maybe you snap angrily at someone, then see its wrongness. Remain with your rightness of seeing its wrongness. That heals you. Each day you will make fewer and fewer harmful mistakes. Hot spot. A tourist stopped at a cafe in a hot desert town. He asked a stranger, "How do you stand this heat all year long?" The stranger replied, "I don't. I live elsewhere." When feeling an inward hell, remember that it is only your acquired and habitual nature that burns. You are not this nature. You may think so, but you are not. You live elsewhere, but must see it. You need not obey hot feelings that try to take you over, so don't. Your rights. Horrible humans demand their sick rights and wreck the planet. Seek sane rights. You have the right to be involved with people without falling into their hells. B. To not fear the loss of anyone or anything. C. To clearly see how childish people really are. D. To discover all the answers to life within yourself. E. To refuse to give what is not good for you to give. F. To let foolish people solve their own problems. G. To honor what alone is worthy of honor, the truth. The rule. Watch what happens the next time you feel pain. You meekly fall under its influence without protect. You believe in your suffering, like a slave who has been whipped so often that he groans and submits as if no other reaction is possible. Nonsense. Stop believing in the evil propaganda of pain. Nothing requires you to submit to suffering. Follow this rule for breaking your own hypnotic belief in pain. If it is hurtful, it is unnecessary. End troubles. A famous detective was asked how he had solved a notorious crime. He replied, "I followed my first faint suspicion all the way to the criminal." Do likewise with that cunning criminal called discouragement toward inner healing. Be rightly suspicious that it is only a feeling pretending to be a power, like a thief in a policeman's uniform. When troubles seem too much for you, return to your inner oasis. It is too much for your troubles. Prove it for yourself. Dumb remarks. In society you are like a soldier bombarded by the enemy. The bombs shot at you by people are idiotic comments, boring boasts, aimless mutterings, stupid lies, absurd questions. They are usually said by people with eyes that gaze far away. These dumb remarks fall on you by the hundreds in just one day. Protect yourself, be aware that this trash-tossing actually happens. Don't waste energy by taking their nonsense seriously. Toss out. Don't argue with problems. That just gives them more life. Learn to toss them out. The only thing to do with a quarrel with someone is to get rid of the quarrel. The only sensible act toward your explosive emotions is to learn to dismiss them. The only right thing to do with loneliness is to toss it out. What if you don't know how to toss out? Ask how long enough and you will know, just as you know how to toss out the contents of a trash box. Natural way. Strain is pain. When about to meet people, watch for the precise moment when you fall into unnatural behavior. It is the same moment you want to impress others with your niceness, though you don't feel nice. Catch that sudden switch to a strained greeting or a faked face. Catch and stop it right now before it takes you over completely. This uncomfortable way will be replaced by an enjoyable ease and skill with people. Above all, imagine a man on a raft lost t.c. A boat pulls alongside and for several minutes someone shouts encouraging words down to the drifter. Then, the boat deliberately sails away, leaving the lost man stunned and furious. This is exactly what a sick society does to everyone within society. It smiles, it promises, and sails away, leaving you alone. You must see this so clearly that you want above all else to discover the meaning of self-rescue. It means everything to you. Your thoughts. See the sameness in the way you think and what happens to you. Notice that you have both angry thoughts and angry human relationships. See that fear of being disliked sometimes leads to being disliked. So the thoughts create the events and the conditions, which means that only a new thinker can create new conditions. New thoughts can be compared to ocean waves that smooth away old footsteps in the sand. The garden. The way out of hell is clearly mapped. Millions have the map. Few follow its directions. When having a problem, the only wise act is to understand it away. This is the same as understanding yourself, for without you there would be no problem. Work with yourself to understand that the problems of other people cannot become your problems. This is spiritual law. No unfruitful tree can flame another tree. This is pleasant self-work. The garden needs a gardener. Open channels. Inner oasis is pure wisdom and energy. In a happy and healthy person, this energy flows through open channels to the mind and then to the body. Upon receiving these right instructions, the mind sends them along to the body where they turn into beneficial actions and wise words. This natural flow of inner rightness makes personal wholeness. Nothing in life can block the healing power of open channels. You just flow gently. Be wise. You can go through life in one of two ways: you can do what you want. You can do what enlightens. By doing only what you want, you can't do what enlightens. This means you will get hurt when your wants turn into haunts. Suppose one day you don't know how to act with strangers, so you act as you want by blurting out something you hope sounds wise. But it sounds stupid. Next time, do what is enlightening by seeing no need to appear wise. That is wise. See people. You have no business feeling sorry for anyone who has chosen self-sickness over self-health. Not only is it immoral and against spiritual law, but it is a trap for the unwary. Don't become prey for human hawks who try to arouse your sympathy. Once getting what they want, they laugh at your gullibility. Has this happened to you in the past? Keep your future free of this hell by realizing that human hawks fear inner strength. Permanent power. Weakness can never be happy. Real happiness and real strength go together. So seek true power, for it rescues you from every human hell. Think about strength, but do not think it can be found anywhere in exterior life. You can't find power in friends or money any more than you can find a peach in an apple orchard. Real strength is inner and personal. Memorize that sentence. Emphasize inner and personal. You will never again tremble before anyone. Rise today. The only cause of a life of hell is the individual's failure to rise above his own negative nature. That is it. Don't look for another cause, for there is none. Can you feel the rightness of these facts? Try to do so. Can you admit that you are negative, that you really don't understand why you are here on earth, that you don't even know the right questions to ask? Your very honesty is the instant power that lifts you above yourself. New voyage. A young man docked his boat at several harbors along his voyage. But upon each return to his boat, a thief had stolen something. He stopped docking there. Ever feel that people are stealing something from you? They are. Your life. It is hell to sense this while unable to understand and stop the theft. The criminal is the false self in any man or woman you meet. Stop the theft by recognizing and sailing past a criminal society. The voyage will be new because you are the hero. Ever been betrayed by a man or a woman? You know the awful ache. Well, you have also been betrayed in another far more hurtful way than you realize. You are betrayed right now by your belief that your present ways will bring relief from that persecuting pain you feel inside. You know that horrible haunting that you tell no one about. Belief betrays. Self-betrayal is a cruel enemy. But self-awakening is a conquering hero. Unwanted place. A secretary worked anxiously at a desk that was new to her. All morning she fumbled through stacks of papers she did not know how to handle. She burned with resentment, until learning that she had been carelessly sent to the wrong desk. Listen. You are not supposed to be where you now are in life. It is all a gigantic misunderstanding. You can leave your unwanted position the moment you understand that you need not be there. Understand it now. The reply. Personal ignorance hurts you personally. Ignorance shrieks with joy over its sick scheme to keep you stumbling in the dark. Reply boldly to evil ignorance, you are all through. Your day is over. I don't have to suffer from you anymore. I finally see you as the monster that you are. You will not hurt me anymore, for the light of truth exposes your deceit. I can learn, I can grow, I can see, I can rest. Of course you can. Avoid hell. You must clearly identify those brief hells you feel every day when with unpleasant people. Your alertness enables you to avoid their traps. So recognize and evade people who are mumbling bores, demand your attention, don't know what to do with themselves, keep you waiting, always find fault, tell you their life story, are hate machines, have sarcastic tongues, tell lies as their entertainment, are paranoid pouncers, have quietly threatening looks, are bitter brooders. Truth speaks. Suppose someone told you, there is something terribly wrong with you that you refuse to see? Honestly now, how would you react? Would you angrily tell him to mind his own business? Listen. This is exactly what truth itself is trying to tell you. Truth simply wants you to see the problem so that it can supply the cure. This is the most important discovery of your life. So don't turn away. Don't be angry. Be grateful. 2 guides. Let these guides correct and inspire your day. Whatever thrills your false nature harms your true nature. You may let someone take advantage of you in order to win the false thrill of appearing pleasant. But you failed to use your power of refusing to yield to human pressure. B. Whatever thrills your true nature dismisses your false nature. You might feel good over not contributing to a family quarrel. This weakens the false nature which thrives on fights. Work with this. Artificial hell. Ever notice the multitude of tragic scenes that play in the theater of your mind? You run scenes of getting hurt in a fight, of falling into public disgrace, of being jeered by your enemies. Stop attending these imaginary performances. Do not be caught unaware. If one sneaks up on you, exclaim, "It tricked me again. Well, I'll be more alert." Snap the scene. Refuse the sinister show. Just as you can fall asleep, you can fall awake. Glow within. What you need is a right kind of emotional explosion, one that heals because it reveals. It occurs when you see a new light. Let the following fact glow within. You never really trust other people, you trust your own judgments about them. Realize this, then purify your judgment. It is perfect protection against prowling people. For example, that man is not being pleasant and helpful toward you, his scheme is. Right judgment believes nothing, sees everything, acts powerfully. Strong oak. A person dwells in his little world of habitual activities which give him something to do with himself. So he fears and fights change. Hell to him is to be unable to meet himself dozens of times a day inside his own petty mind. Millions suffer from this obsession with self-repetition. But you can have an eternal nature that is unconcerned with changes in time. An oak remains strong through hundreds of changes in weather. So can you. Love thoughts. Life is not a burden to you. You are a burden to life. Here is how to lift the load. Never do anything for anyone to get him to like you. How many times a day do you do this without realizing it? People won't like you anyway, though they will like your weakness, which they will exploit. Truth declares that you need not try to get anyone to like you. You do need freedom from the hell of yearning for love and care. When you don't think about being loved, you are. Ruinous lies. Lies are the flames in personal hell that a lost man's nature is false, so all he does is also false. When he speaks, he lies. It is a lie that he wants to help others, that he understands himself, that he is basically a good person, that he seeks no personal gain, that he has no hatred. A liar is like a man sinking in a swamp who smilingly invites you to join him in his flower garden. A liar is healed by seeing that he is a liar. Sly enemy. The foe of happiness is not malicious people or frustrating circumstances. It is a sly enemy unseen by millions of its victims. The cunning foe is your own unseen reactions. You are unaware of your hundreds of daily mechanical reactions, and so remain under their pounding punishment. If you knew you were hurting yourself with useless guilt or envy, would you allow them? Never. So make your reactions conscious, which changes them from punishing to pleasing. Your orders. You can take orders from either hell or heaven. If you take orders from hell, they will twist your spirit painfully. Orders from hell can give you gold and glory in this world, which will not lessen your pain one bit. If you take orders from heaven, your spirit will feel as pleasant as a pink sky. The common aches of feeling unwanted or rejected will be absent. Ask heaven for orders and it will direct you toward eternity. The looks. Cruel people use looks as swords, but they need not wound you. Study these examples. Contemptuous look, which is intended to crush your spirit. B. Superior look, in which he pretends to see through you. C. Threatening look, which is supposed to make you fearfully submit. Remember, all such looks are mere masks. Behind a mask is an extremely scared and insecure person. Don't fear him any more than you would tremble before a mask hanging on a wall. Remain apart. Notice your yearning to be quietly alone, to remain unbothered. Develop this urge until you become a special kind of invisible person. You can be in the middle of a huge crowd and still be all alone within yourself. No one will see this secret self. One part of you easily converses with others while your secret self remains apart from the usual demands of society. Find this invisible self that human chaos cannot reach. True help. No other person can make things easier for you. He can only appear to lighten your load while really making it heavier. Healthily face this fact. Think back to yesterday when you hopefully dreamed that another person could help you, but you were shocked awake. Remember how badly it hurt? Always remember that society sells you beautiful bubbles at an outrageous price. Remembering this turns you toward the only true help there is, your own higher nature. Double cure. Hell exists inside you in the form of terrifying pressures, also outwardly as with hostile people and frustrating conditions. However, the curing of the inner hell also cures the outer hell. It is like an underground spring that at first sends muddy water to the surface but later purifies itself to gush forth with clear water. Like to have this double cure? Just want to be whole more than you want people to think you are whole. You will be whole. Healthy light. You break out of hell by breaking out of your habitual mind. This usual mind is a prison in which you worriedly pace back and forth. Break out now. Here is how. First, memorize the sentence, "Seeing suspends thinking." Next, several times during your day just see yourself in action. Casually notice yourself as you walk or eat or rest. This suspends worried thought and allows the healthy light of pure insight to shine upon you. Practice constantly. Results will come. Right act. A sadly defeated man asked a teacher of truth, "What is wrong?" The teacher replied, "You." The lesson is, all torment is self-torment. There is no such thing as anyone else causing you mental pain. Never. Accept this right now as the spiritual fact that it is, and you will start right now to drop personal pain. Accept it because it is the right thing to do for yourself. You will open a treasure chest of endless riches. Think freshly. Everyone thinks he knows what is best for himself, but he is wrong. In spiritual law you can leave a lower level to reach a higher level. So the very fact that a man clings to his foolish ways proves that he thinks they are the best ways. Think freshly. Realize that negative states are not good for you, but only excite and reinforce the false nature which you wrongly take as your true nature. Ask your true self to dissolve your false self. It is an expert at it. Feel good. To feel different from depressed people, be different. One method is to have no secret ambitions for power over others. Men crave command in a vain attempt to fill their aching emptiness. If you wisely decline power in human affairs, you qualify to receive healthy power over yourself, which is all you need. Would you rather feel good toward yourself or feel treachery in those you command? Choose to feel good. Truth works. Hundreds of suggestions appear in your mind each day. To conquer the day, send them to your inner oasis, not to your usual self. Your inner oasis will judge each for you as either valuable or worthless. Suppose you meet an unpleasantly aggressive person. In past times he bothered and baffled you. This time, simply relax, suspend your usual reactions, and refer the problem to your inner oasis. What you cannot do, truth will do for you, giving you peace. Contact truth. If you stumble against a rock and fall down, the reason is that you did not see the rock. Had you seen it, you would not have fallen. That helpful information is ignored by millions of people who fall, get hurt, cry. Ask yourself, do I really know how to conquer my pain? Don't fear to answer no. Just simply say no. Truth has been waiting a long time to hear you make that contact with it. You will cry no more. Bright day. People worry, but what if I lack the intelligence to grasp all this? You are not asked to be intelligent but to only realize your lack of knowledge. This can carry you toward higher intelligence. For example, you may not realize how you fear what other people think of you. See it, feel its pain, wisely rebel against it. One bright day your developing fresh nature will enable you to say, no longer will I be a slave to what you think of me. Independence is heaven. True pleasure. How pleasant to discover true pleasure. False pleasure is anything that arises from self-worship. It includes the thrill of boasting about future conquests and the conceited pretense that everything is going just fine. True pleasure is anything that arises from your own inner oasis. It includes the delight of making right decisions and the niceness of relaxation. You must pay for false pleasure, but true pleasure pays you. About time. You are tense with other people because you fear they may see through you. You know what you are like and worry that they might learn what you know. You fear that what you want may be denied by what they see. All this is ridiculous. When will you stop cringing before people whose chief contribution to life is a dull stare? All this is pathetic. Who said you had to plead with people who are nothing but full-time nuisances? It is about time you reclaimed your own mind. Be real. Notice your strained efforts to appear attractive before other people. Few ever escape this hell, but you can. Don't try to appear desirable. Appearances are worthless. They wreck your emotions and prevent natural self-expression. Appearances place you at the mercy of the sarcasms of other people, who are merciless. Don't painfully act your way through your day. Be who you really are. It is down there somewhere awaiting your discovery. The request. Throngs of visitors came to a spiritual temple to make their requests. They asked for blessings or favors or for a prosperous future. Each was told, you have come to the wrong place. Finally, one visitor requested, I'm looking for someone who won't tolerate my stupidity which pretends it is intelligence. He was told, you have come to the right place. That visitor learned to escape his personal hell. So can anyone else. It all depends upon the kind of request. Know this. To approach heaven, memorize and act upon these two facts. 1. A person's own thoughts and actions make him sad and sick. 2. His deep insight into this frees him of being a victim of himself. Develop self-insight by knowing that your resentments hurt you, that your plans to feel safe make you feel nervous, that your self-obsession imprisons you. If your apple tree bears sour apples, it is ridiculous to try to improve your neighbor's apple tree. Healing shock. A man consented to have movie shots taken of himself at various times during his day. When viewing the film, he was shocked at himself. He saw a stranger. He was not at all the kind of person presented by his imagination. Believing he was calm and intelligent, he saw clear evidence of his nervousness and foolishness. But now he possessed healing self-insight. He realized that hell consists of living from imaginary virtues. View your own actions. It frees you. Your correction. One hellish fear is that someone will drag you into his dangerous mistakes. He cares not if his crime hurts you, in fact, he wants to get you involved so as to force you to rescue him while rescuing yourself. Study this explanation and make this hell clear to you. Recall the past in which people with no conscience pushed you into their hells. Your correction. Remove your baggage from an airplane with a history of crash landings. Stop today. Telling yourself wrong thing will block your escape route out of hell. Stop telling yourself that your activities are leading to happiness. B. Covering up your insecurity will lead to security. C. There is value in accusing others. D. Power over people is a great advantage. E. Excited emotions give you life. F. You are wiser than other people realize. G. Talking is the same as understanding. Happiness can be found in a dream world. End this wrong speech. Care now. Care for what happens to you. Care for what happens to you. No, you do not presently do so. You care only for what happens to your sleepwalking personality, as when you force a smile to try to appear pleasant before others. It is this slumbering self that makes you feel so bad. See the tragedy of abandoning your own life. Start true self-caring by not caring for your dangerous sleepwalking self that cares nothing for you. Secret question. Ever feel that other people are always interfering with your life? You are right. But the interference is given a fancy label, like calling it friendship or service. Their deceitful aim is to give you nothing for something. It is your privilege to get tired of being drained. Secretly ask yourself, is their company really worth all that bother? Do they really have anything of true value? Your deeper nature will reply, no. Know what you now are. Free. Stay that way. The power. If you live a life of hell, there is no excuse for it. The way out of misery is known and available. There is a power that does not shake before unexpected events as you shake. There is a power that is not afraid of that person you fear. There is a power that does not feel surrounded by evil enemies as you feel. Stop excusing yourself. There is no excuse. Throw off your chains. Find this power inside your inner oasis. Be secure. One kind of depression is caused by thinking that you have failed to win popularity or excitement or wealth. Listen carefully. God, truth, reality does not care a bit whether you succeed like this. But you have wrong concern because you think that a self-created world will make you feel secure. It won't. Having financial security is like admiring your diamond ring while tumbling down a waterfall. See self-concern as a treacherous friend. Above self-concern is self-security. Easy day. Nothing is easier than having an easy life. All you need is its secret. Here it is. Life is rough only on your illusions that you should be adored like a movie star. When you don't care if no one knows your name, you are as cheery as a breeze. Life is rough on your pretense that you don't hurt other people. When you have tossed away the cruel false self, your innocence is your pleasure. An easy spirit has an easy day. Make it yours. High ground. Imagine a woman strolling through the countryside, absorbed in her own thoughts. Suddenly feeling uneasy, she looks around to find herself surrounded by tall weeks and weird sounds, which prompts her to leave. Why was she uncomfortable? Because she carelessly walked into a place unnatural for her. Let your discomfort reveal that you are in an unnatural place internally, as when you angrily blame people. Leave that low ground at once. High ground is safe. Stay free. Everyone wants you to think and act as he does. He is secretly obsessed with making you like him. By turning you into an imitation of himself, he can then manipulate you to serve his own wishes. Don't let anyone turn you into anything. Be horrified at how he thinks and acts. Hell results from falling for his evil scheme, and heaven depends upon avoiding it. Humans are like a roomful of clocks, all giving you a different wrong time. Happy facts. Happiness is never the addition of anything, but always the absence of something. Contentment is the absence of annoyance. Health is the absence of illness. So never try to add anything that appears to be good, for it will be the bad disguised as good. For example, never try to impress people, for that is an artificial need. Also, have no interest in winning a quarrel, for you win only a false thrill. Remove the rocks from the garden and pretty flowers will grow. Let go. Ever feel that life is passing you by? Ever look around and see friends who seem on their way to interesting places? Ridiculous. Your faking friends are going nowhere but deeper into their secret hells. Study your false belief that life is passing you by. See that it is a mere thought having no connection with your real nature. You are not that thought. A thought is a passing breeze, no a solid rock. Let go of the thought. The lesson. A schoolboy had covered his desk with a dozen notes, but the day's lesson remained unsolved. His helpful teacher approached with a note having the right answer. Noticing the cluttered desk, the teacher requested, "But first, please clear your answers away." What a great lesson in this simple story. Don't miss it. Your inner oasis promises, make room for the solutions you need and they will arrive for sure. When you know that you don't know, you will. New song. Rescuing truth arrives at first as a small hint, as a different feeling. It is like hearing a few notes of a new song that later becomes a favorite. You soon see how truth helps in daily life. Someone in your day may have distressing power over you that you want to break. Your new song of truth reveals that the problem is not his power but your weakness. By more listening you build the strength to happily walk away. False need. There is hellish self-joy in losing. Losers feel like winners, but all they win is more hardening of the delusion of being someone important enough to be selected as a loser. Confirmed alcoholics, habitual victims and compulsive gamblers love to lose. Losing serves the same false need as winning, for it thrills the false self. A loser screams victoriously, "See, I lost, so I exist as me." Real existence is above both winning and losing. Go for the real. The question. What is your present most painful hell? When you tell yourself there is no relief, stop saying that. Instead, ask yourself, who said that? Who said you must endure agony? By tracking despair all the way back you will find no one who says pain must remain. Grief is caused by a belief in no relief. Grief is a ridiculous voice with no authority whatever, like a quacking duck. Let "who said so" carry you all the way home. Your command. How would you act if you were really in charge of yourself? Easy answer. You would not act as you now do. You would not try to fill inner emptiness with outer objects. You would not have a peculiar fondness for gloomy moods. So self-command is a result of not following familiar but weak ways. So don't follow. Break the pattern. Your new self-command will appear as if from nowhere, but it really came from somewhere, your inner oasis. Healthy life. Human badness has a false fascination. Like a trapdoor covered by a beautiful rug, it drops millions of gullible victims into despair. All the fights and heartaches suffered by your friends are caused by their own foolish flirtation with sick humans. Never be attracted by repulsive evil. Ignore the weird excitement radiated by habitual troublemakers. Your own life health depends upon it. Live with these protective facts each moment. Shocking lesson. A student said to his spiritual teacher, "Shock me if necessary, but shock awake my sleeping spirit." The teacher told the student, "Anything you do or think that is dangerous to another person is also dangerous to you." The student pondered that shocking information for many months. If you feel endangered, ponder also. See how it must be true. A ball of ice thrown at someone must first freeze your own hand. Let self-insight stop needless self-injury. New start. Hell consists of living from the rewards of the exterior world. Heaven consists of living with the rewards of your interior world. A man living from the outer world smiles because he wants something. A man living with his inner world smiles because he has something. Whoever you are, decide in favor of your inner world. Decide in favor of yourself. No one knows better than you that you want a fresh start. Take it now. Find power. Look around. What do you see? Weak people. Weaklings who want you to carry them. You see nothing else because there is nothing else. Look at that male nitwit who has not the slightest notion of how others see through his phoniness. Glance at that idiotic female who is whining her life away. You look for strength out there? You might as well look to a flock of nervous sparrows. Human strength does not exist. On to your inner oasis without delay. Take care. Hell creeps slyly into human relations. One hell leaves you with resented work to do. It starts when you get together with someone, hoping for various rewards. You may win a toy or two, but on the dreaded day the other person presents his bill. You hear him or her say, "All right, I have given you what you want. Now you have to take care of me. You will hear from me often." To stay out of trouble, read this section 10 times. Tell yourself. You can't always tell others of your wish to leave the dry desert and climb the green mountain. They will be bored or critical of your spiritual aims, for they are content with hell on earth. This is no problem. Just tell yourself. Very quietly tell yourself that human glory is human stupidity. Tell yourself that to feel right you must be right. A miracle occurs each time you do this. You will actually feel the difference between the dry desert and the green mountain.